Hi guys, this is Dr. Gillard. I promised you a video on the bones, the lower extremities, so kind of experimenting here to see what works the best with this. So let's go ahead. This is obviously, what is this? You tell me. This is obviously the head of the femur. Then we have the femoral neck. It's all this material in here. Then we have this big knob right here. I'll try to rotate this around a little so you can see. Greater trochanter, all of that. Lesser trochanter is right here. What surface is this? What side are we looking at? So you can see there's a pretty big mountain range running between the greater and lesser trochanter. So that's the intertrochanteric crest. So that means we must be on the back side. And we are on the back side. There's a bump right here. Quadrate tubercle. Quadrate tubercle. Okay. And then coming off the lesser trochanter here, we have this little arcuate line of the femur. Remember, we have one of the pelvis, so we have to be careful. That arcuate line. It's got a little number on it even. Arcuate line. And this merges into this thing. Try to get some shadowing on it. This is the linea aspera. Goes all the way down the back of the femur. This would be the medial lip of the linea aspera. Number K, if you could, or letter K, if you can see it. This would be the lateral lip. This side right on here. Linea aspera. It also kind of morphs and goes around. You can't see it on this specimen very well. Maybe a little bit here. But that would be the spiral line. Spiral line. Okay, there's a little cubby hole here. That's the trochanteric fossa right underneath here. Okay, now I'll spin it around to the front side. See, now you can tell. Look at see how smooth the femur is? Very smooth on the front. Okay, now we can see the greater trochanter is here. Okay, here's the neck. This is the neck. I think we have a fracture picture in the PowerPoint on radiology. This is the neck. This is the greater trochanter. This is the head of the femur, right? This is the head, all this material. Take a look at that greater trochanter, rotated around. So this would be lateral view. Now we're back to an anterior view, greater trochanter. And there's a skinny little line here, which is the intertrochanteric, because it's in between the trochanters, intertrochanteric line. It's so skinny it's just called the line. Are we ready? And this, some books say, and when I say some books I usually mean Drake or Strand Ring. Strand Ring is the big $300 gray. And Drake is your student's edition, which I actually like. It's the second, it's like the 25th edition of Grays, but it's really the second edition of Grays where Strand Ring's been the author. And there are surprisingly quite a few mistakes in that book, so we're not real happy with it in our anatomy department. It's not just me. Okay, so what's all this? There's nothing really here. This is just the shaft of the femur. Remember I said, if I roll this to the side, remember I said this is the medial lip. I don't know if you can see that very good. The medial lip of the linea aspera. It actually kind of morphs into this spiral line, which then kind of morphs into the intertrochanteric line. Okay. Now let's zip down here. Let's see if I can figure out how to make this work. So now we know where we are. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to do here. So obviously we have the patella here wobbling. So the bottom of it here, that's the apex of the patella. There's the base of the patella. So it's like a shield, but it's upside down. But there's not a whole lot of stuff exciting here until we, this is just the you can't even see, but all this is just the shaft. Nothing really happens until you get down to the distal end. So right here, there is a knob. Let's see if I can figure out how to get that closer to you. I don't know if you can see it around there. You can see it pretty good. So that's the adductor tubercle that is on this area. So all of this area, this would be good, the medial epicondyle. The condyle is right, kind of the meat of the bone. If I could pinch it, this is all condyle here. And then epicondyle would be here, and there's adductor tubercle. Right there is probably the, you can see how it's a little point now right there. Okay, so I think we'll take the patella off. By the way, let's see if we can put it in here. So this is always the lateral side. See, this is much, here's the little mountain range in the middle. All of this is the lateral side because it's longer. It's a longer ski slope if you're skiing down it. It's long, is lateral. And the shorter one is medial. And if I put this on the table, it always falls to the lateral long side. So it's lateral side down. So how do we know what patella it is then? If that was on the table? I said, what patella is that? Well, you'd know this is down, that's the apex, this is lateral. So if this is the lateral side, it has to absolutely be the left patella. Okay? That's a good, never done that before, but that might be fun to do. Okay, so let's get the patella out of the way. Let's try to go back to the knee here. Now, this is the patellar surface, right? This is where the patella was sitting, all of this here. So if we roll it over, this area right here, all of this area, that's your lateral epicondyle, and then below it, all of this is all medial epicondyle. So if I put a sticker here, 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 over here, this is all, I would probably put it right here though, kind of on the turkey bone. What's this big chunk right here? Intercondylar fossa is right there. All that. Okay, now this might be difficult. Let's see if we can turn it over. So now we're on the posterior side. Can you tell which way is which? This one always sticks out. See how it, you can feel it on your, go down to your knee, you can feel it. This is the medial epicondyle again. And now we can see quite nicely the adductor tubercle is right there, ADD, adductor tubercle, lateral condyle, medial condyle, intercondylar fossa, and I think there's a region right here, supracondylar ridge, right there. Supracondylar ridge morphs in to this. What would that be? So that's the lateral part of the linea aspera here. Lateral part of the linea aspera. That's the medial part. Okay, I think that's about all we need to say there. So let's pull it down. Let's go back to the front view. It's easier to start, I think. I should have brought the whole box of bones home, but I don't have that much time. So we can see a big bump here. It's the tibial tuberosity. Okay, and all of this mass here and all of this mass, those are the lateral and medial condyles of the tibia. Don't forget during the test to say of the tibia. Right? Let's see. There's no lateral epicondyles of the tibia, by the way. Let's see if we can figure out how to have to come in from the side on this. Sorry about the view. This is really hard to figure out how to get the foot out of the way. Let's see. I think we can see that a little bit. No, I can't see, but so we have this whole ball of wax. This is obviously, let's see where we are. You can see where we are. There's the front of the tibia. I'm just flipping the foot out of the way and bringing this down. So we're looking down. This is a superior view of this whole thing. It's called the tibial plateau. Tibial plateau. And then we have a prominent area in the middle which does not contain articular cartilage. So that's called the intercondylar area. Intercondylar area. And the intercondylar area has these two prongs. I'll have to go sideways. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can see it that way. Kind of obliquely. Okay, there they are. There's one. See it? There's the other one. So those are the intercondylar eminences. The intercondylar eminence. Sorry, the whole thing is the intercondylar eminence. And this one, there's two little twin peaks here. This one with a number, that would be the lateral intercondylar tubercle, and this one would be the medial intercondylar tubercle. All ready? You can see the tibial tuberosity again. This, with that number, that would be the lateral condyle of the tibia. And we also see something here. Might as well do this while we're here. What's this? This is the fibula. Fibula. So the fibula has three parts you need to know. I could put a sticker here, and you'd have to say the apex of the fibula. If I put one right here, the apex is really coming off the head of the fibula. Oh, this big round knob, any of this is the head of the fibula. And below it, in the skinny part, this is the neck of the fibula. And there's two facets right here, one on the tibia, one on the fibula, and that's the superior tibiofibular joint. And that's probably the most, it's diarthroidal, it has a capsule and synovial fluid within it, so that's probably more. There's two other ones, but this is the one that you need to know. Alright, so I think we got this down pretty good. Let's see. How about this right here? So we're on the lateral part, right? Fibula head's on the lateral side. There is a nice bump right here. That's Gertie's tubercle. I don't know if you can see it very well. This is all, I got my finger right on it. That's Gertie's tubercle. So right above it, good, the lateral condyle of the tibia. And then if we pin this, you could call that the articular facet, or the articular surface of the lateral epicondyle. Is perfectly fine. Some people call it the lateral tibial plateau, but I'd prefer that you tell me that this would be articular surface, because this is where the meniscus is set, right? And then the same over here. So this is all, let's see if you can see it, there's a number even there. So that's the medial articular surface of the tibial condyle, of the medial tibial condyle, or the articular surface of the medial tibial condyle. Okay. I know this isn't perfect, but somebody can tell me how to figure this out. We can make a better video. Let's see. All right, get your bearings again. All right, tibial tuberosity. So there's a big spine coming right down. Big sharp edge. I don't know if you can see it or not. You can see it that way for sure. So that is the what? Border. That's the anterior border of the tibia. So this would be the medial surface of the tibia. This would be the lateral surface of the tibia. And way over here, which is hard to see, but there's an interosseous border as well. Same with the fibula. There's a sharp border. I don't know if you can see it. That's the anterior border of the fibula. It's supposed to be a double border. It's very tricky, so I'm going to just stay away from it because these are very anomalous. But there's the interosseous border. I mean, if you really want to get technical, the interosseous border would be here. And then the other one would be the anterior border would be here. Okay, but let's not worry about that. Let's get down to here though, because this is an important joint. We're going to be working on this in our practice. So this is the talocrural joint, or the mortise joint between this bone. Matter of fact, what is this? This whole bone, that's the talus, right? Talocrural joint. In fact, on top here, the chicken bone here, this would be this is the trochlea, or dome, talar dome, or trochlea of the talus. Then we have a little waist-like section here. Let's see if I can get a better view. I don't know how the autofocus is going, so hopefully it's behaving. This little skinny part, so that's the neck of the talus. And then this is the head of the talus. Oh, this material. Okay, move down to this bone right here. So what articulates with the talus? That's the navicular. Okay, talonavicular joint. It's right there. I don't think that's on our list though. But what is on our list? That is the transverse. What is it called? Transverse tarsal joint? So we'll finish that off, but let's see. Yeah, you can see it. See it right there? So anterior to the talus, there's an articulation. The talus articulates with this. Medial cuneiform, intermediate cuneiform, lateral cuneiform. Lateral cuneiform articulates with this big bone. That's the cuboid. Cuboid. Okay, and then we have this. That's the fifth metatarsal. Then we have this giant bump right here. So that's the tuberosity of the fifth metatarsal, or some call it the styloid process. Okay, and then these are all metatarsals here. There's 4, 3, 2, and 1 is right here. I think that's a little further. We'll go right there for now. Now if we keep rotating it around, ooh, look, there's another big bump right there. Oops. Right there, see that? So, tuberosity of the cuboid. Tuberosity of the cuboid. Now we can also see, let's go back, who's this? That's the calcaneus. Who's this? that's the head of the femur coming around. Let's get that out of the way. Sorry about that. Okay. So calcaneus articulates with the cuboid. Now we have an important hole right here. Good. That's the sustentaculum tali. Is that true? No, it's not the sustent. What is that hole? That's the tarsal sinus, or sinus tarsi, which is created by two bones. This bottom kind of half of it right here, it's a sulcus. Sulcus calcanei is anywhere in here. If I put a little sticker right there, sulcus calcanei. And see how it's made? It's kind of at an oblique angle, but see all of this right here. Let's see if I can get it better. Well, this top roof of it, that's the sulcus tali. Sulcus tali. What was in there? Remember that important ligament? Kind of holds the subtalar joint together. We don't see it here, but that was that interosseous talocalcaneal ligament, so that's a really important one. Okay, and what was this region again here? Kind of waist-like. That's the neck of the talus. Is that right? Yeah, neck of the talus. What about this bone? Navicular again, right? You can tell because it's connecting to this lateral cuneiform. So this joint right here, transverse tarsal joint. See, it's got two parts. Let me get this down now. Transverse tarsal joint. So if I stick a pin in this joint, you would say transverse tarsal joint. Now what about this joint right here? You can see it. So these are tarsals, metatarsals. This is the metatarsal, or this is the tarsal metatarsal joint. Because these are the tarsals. Tarsal metatarsal joint, right down there. Not perfectly straight, is it? Now, intertarsal joints would be just these, the joints running kind of in the plane of the foot. So these are intertarsal joints. So if I stuck a pin in there, that's an intertarsal joint. There's another intertarsal joint here. Then we'll move out here. I mean, this is basic stuff here. There's the metatarsals. This is the base of the metatarsals. These are the heads of the metatarsals, and these are important to know these because you'll have patients with fractures here, so you have to be able to describe where the fractures are. You know, if you don't, when other people get a hold of your records, attorneys in the area or whatever, you're going to look like a fool. So make sure you know your bones real well. First metatarsal base, first metatarsal head. So now we go, all of these are the phalanges. So this, if I just put a pin on this, this is the, you could just say the second phalanx, or the second digit, be fine. Or no, it wouldn't be fine. You have to be more specific. This is the, which one? This is the proximal phalanx. This is the, what's this one? This is the middle phalanx, and this one is the distal phalanx. Proximal, middle, distal phalanx. And this joint, so this is the metatarsal phalangeal joint. This one would be, oh, this one's different though, look. This is the intertarsal, this is the ip. The am I saying tarsal? Yeah, that's right, tarsal. Intertarsal joints. So, where's the inter one here? We don't have one. So all we have is a pip, proximal interphalangeal joint, and a dip, distal interphalangeal joint. And these are all the same. So what's this one right here? That's the dip, and that's the pip. Got it? Okay. Right. Let's see if I can flip this like this. We did this already, right? What's this? Maybe we didn't do this. Yeah, I know it's the fibula, but this is the lateral malleolus. Lateral malleolus, this would, of the fibula, don't forget that, or half off. And this is the medial malleolus of the tibia. Medial malleolus of the tibia. Okay, let's see what else we can see. Let's go this way. This is a medial view. So here's the talus again. Right? So this must be, who's this? If this is the talus, middle side, that's the navicular. Navicular, and there's the big bump here. Navicular tuberosity. Who's this big guy right here? That's the middle, or that's the medial cuneiform. Medial cuneiform. And who's this? It's got a little label on it. It's a little ledge. I don't know if we can go like that and see it. It's a ledge that supports the neck of the talus. So that's the sustumtaculum tali. All of this piece right here where the little A is. And then there's a little groove underneath it. That's where Harry runs. Flexor hallucis longus. The groove for flexor hallucis longus is right there. And let's see, what else do we need to know? We need to know what this is. So You can say that's the, let's see, that's the medial process, or you could probably call it tubercle. The whole thing is all of this is the calcaneal tuberosity. So this is the medial and the lateral process. I think the notes are calling it something else. Grace calls it a process, so I would stick with process. There you can see the lateral process of the calcaneal tuberosity, medial process of the calcaneal tuberosity. Sustumtaculum tali, it's right here. What about this joint? Can you see that? Let's see. See it? Subtalar, this is the talus. This is the two parts of the subtalar joint. All of this. Got it? The bottom of the foot looks a little weird because see how the cuboid is big? It's a very big bone. It's almost touchy. Now it does touch. It articulates with the, what's this one again? Navicular. And then we have the, what's this? Medial cuneiform. Middle or intermediate cuneiform is kind of squished. These form a dome. And there's the lateral cuneiform there, and they both run. Notice that the medial cuneiform runs into the cuboid, and the navicular runs into the cuboid as well. Alright. So I hope the audio worked on this, because this is take one, and since I got 6 midterms to give, this is probably all you're going to get this time. Alright, I think that should do it. I hope you enjoy it. Good luck on your midterms. See ya.